Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Monday. And first and foremost, as I always want to send out positive vibrations and blessings. Now, with all that being said, I know I uploaded a video this morning. I thought I had uploaded it on Saturday, but I guess it never went through. And then I realized that I've been on vacation and whatnot, but I uploaded it again this morning, just talking about LeBron James or whatever, but just to let people know to quit hating on everything that's going on. But what I want to do is specifically, I want to have a show where we can all discuss the Lakers' options for future head coaches, roster positions, where do they go in the future, and things of that nature. And also would like to touch on just the play-in tournament that's coming up here, starting I think on Tuesday. So we're going to break down all these different matchups. Of course, there's going to be a lot to talk about in both conferences. I'm going to give you my picks of who I think is going to win it all, my picks for each series. First, I'll give my picks for everything, and then I get the picks for each game. We can do the spread. We can do anything that y'all want to do because y'all my YouTube family, and I want to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. And because the Lakers season is officially over, I used to pride myself on talking about and analyzing each Lakers game and what needed to be done to make corrections, or just kind of talking about what went well and what didn't, and what moves they needed to make, you know, during the course of the season. And of course, already what Frank Vogel said last night, man, I gotta say, I watched that and I was a little bit tickled. He said they ain't told me shit. But I guess they told his watermelon cantaloupe biscuit head ass this morning, you got to go. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it wasn't Frank Vogel's fault. Oh, look at the personnel he had. Oh, look at the roster. Listen, I'll be the first one to agree with you that they didn't necessarily have the best roster construction. But at the end of the day, Frank Vogel's rotations were atrocious. His play, like his in-game adjustments were pathetic. Having 38 different starting lineups over the course of the season, I don't give a damn. I know there was injuries and I know there was COVID, but a lot of times it's like he never built up the confidence in his players. And how can you build up any kind of continuity as a team if each time your pieces are changing? And even if you listen to some of the press conferences at the end of the season, you know, people were saying, players were saying things like, we didn't know who was going to be in the lineup. I didn't know if I was going to play tonight, if I would play next week, you know, because he would just panic and pull the plug. Oh, this not working. Let's try something else. And not even realizing that it's more about matchups. And I know people say, well, Frank Vogel just led you to a title in 2020. Did he forget how to coach? You know, you see all these media pundits and people just taking up for Frank Vogel. To me, I think it's disgusting, because it's like, are you watching the games? Like even the average fans or anybody who know anything about basketball can clearly see that he was getting out coached. And you can look at teams like New Orleans, who started off terrible. You can look at teams like San Antonio Spurs, who don't have any big name players on their team. They do have some great younger players up and coming, but at the end of the day, for Popovich to be able to coach them into the play-in, and for Vogel not to be able to help coach his players into the play-in, I think is ridiculous. And I mean, I know Anthony Davis did miss 40 games. You know, he missed 40 games the whole year, which is half the season. I know LeBron James missed several games as well, like what, 20 something, 25, 26 games or whatever. So, you know, the Lakers dealt with a lot of things like that, but there's no excuses, because you have Zion Williamson missed the whole season for New Orleans, and that's their main star player. But yet they're in the play-in and the Lakers are not. And of course, a lot of people would like to blame, well, it's all on LeBron James. It's all on LeBron James. I want to ask any and everybody out here, what could LeBron James have done? And you put it in the comments, especially y'all haters, but I probably won't respond to y'all. Like, sometimes I give you some responses, but you know, when it's smooth brain, just know when I'm not responding to you, just know it was a smooth brain question. Just know it was a smooth brain question, and that's why I didn't respond to you. So if you can ask a legitimate question or make a legitimate argument or a legitimate rebuttal or response or even a thought, then maybe I will. But y'all already know, everybody who know anything about basketball in the comments, you can tell. And, you know, I'm not saying I'm the end all be all and I'm no professional or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you know, I analyze this very closely, what's going on. And y'all all know what my background is. But at the end of the day, You know, the Lakers have a lot that they need to do in order to be successful moving forward. I know LeBron James is going to be a year older. I won't say that he doesn't look slowed down, because the injuries are hampering him a lot more. He's missed more games as a Laker than he missed in the previous, 16 years that he, 15, 16 years or whatever combined. So that lets you know. And I know the groin maybe was a freak injury, but, you know, then he had that abdominal stretch. I mean, when you get up in age, and trust me, because I know, shit, it's hard for me just to get up out of bed sometimes, and I'm nowhere near athletic anymore. So at the end of the day, y'all, the Lakers still have a good core. Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis said something that I think was very telling, and what he said was his injuries weren't something people saying it's being him non-conditioned. And I would have to agree with Anthony Davis on this. It wasn't like, oh, he had tendinosis or he had anything going on with the, you know, his Achilles. It was just more so, you know, LeBron had that freak play where he was setting a strong screen and, you know, pushed another player into Anthony Davis' knee, and that's what had him out majority of the year. And then when he came back, the way he landed, that was just an awkward way to land. That's gonna happen. It was just a bit unfortunate. Sometimes you land on another player's foot, you know, just things like that is going to happen in part of basketball. Sometimes things like that are gonna happen. It's just part of basketball. So with Anthony Davis, I mean, LeBron James setting that hard screen and knocking the player into somebody's, into his leg, that was unfortunate. That was beyond his control. And then, just like I said, landing down, the way he landed once he came back from injury, the way he landed on his ankle or foot, sometimes these things are, you can't prevent it. So at the end of the day, I know a lot of people call him street clothes Davis and all this and that, but I don't think the injuries that he suffered this year, I would have to agree with him, were not due. I don't think the injuries that he suffered this year was due to him, a lack of him being in physical condition and shape-wise, as far as being able to come out and play. What I will knock Anthony Davis for is, I will knock him for the way he came out and performed a lot early on during the year, especially when LeBron James was out, missing those games that he missed with the abdominal injury that he suffered early on in the year. So with that being said, I think Anthony Davis should have been a lot more aggressive in the paint throughout the year instead of playing from that elbow position. And one stat that I thought was very interesting, I'm going to have to pull it up, but it showed Anthony Davis had more blocks than Giannis this year and played half the game of Giannis. So, I mean, Anthony Davis literally played 40-some games, and Giannis played, 75, 80 games or whatever it is. But yet Anthony Davis had, I think, I could be wrong, don't quote me on it. Let me know in the comments, look it up. But I think he had double the blocks, or like way more blocks than he had. So it was just crazy, an interesting sight. I saw somebody had put that in the article. I can't remember where I saw that at. But at the end of the day, you know, Anthony Davis is a defensive present for the Lakers, and that's something that they was lacking poorly, was a good defender, and he anchors that defense, and that's something that they really need, is somebody to get in there and anchor that defense. Now, with all that being said, you know, hopefully he can come back healthy next year, and I think him and LeBron James can still lead the Lakers into the postseason and maybe into a championship if they can find that other missing piece, which leads me to Russell Westbrook. Now, everybody is saying that Russell Westbrook, oh, he led the team in points, he led the team in rebounds, he led the team in turnovers, he led the team in whatever. Of course, he played all the games, he wasn't injured. So who did you expect? With Anthony Davis missing half the season and LeBron James missing a pretty good amount of games, 56 games? He played only 56 games, so he missed 25 games, 30 games, whatever, close to 30 games. Then what would you expect? They saying it like he just really did something, you know? But at the end of the day, I think Russ can still be successful in this system if they had a different coach. Now, there are reports coming out. I don't know if people heard this, and I haven't. There's just some stuff I saw on Twitter. I don't know if I really got it on a good source, but Russell Westbrook and Coach Vogel was into it from the beginning of the season, just because Vogel was saying anybody can bring it up court if we rebound, push, and Russ was like, no, I'm the point guard, I'm bringing it up the court, and all of that. And then from that point on, it was just an issue. And I tend to agree. I hate to say this, but I have to agree with Vogel on this. I mean, you live in a league now that's predicated on speed, quickness, spacing the floor, and knocking down threes. So the quicker you can get into your set, think about it. If you can push it up the floor, then that's extra possessions a game. The more possessions you get a game, the more opportunity you have to score points, and the more pressure you put on the opponent's defense. So nothing wrong with pushing the ball. He said even Anthony Davis can bring it up. We know he played point guard early on in his high school career or whatnot. So at the end of the day, I have to agree with Vogel on that. Let's see if we can get a new coach, and if that coach can gain the respect of the players and have some sort of good philosophy. I know, and that's another show. We're going to come back and talk about all the potential coaching candidates. So stay tuned tomorrow. Y'all let me know what you rather focus on tomorrow. We can talk about the play-in tournament, the matchups for that. Of course, I will touch on all of that. And then, of course, we can talk about candidates for Lakers coaching. So put in the comments who you all think should be the next coach for the Lakers, and I will do the same, and we can all discuss the different candidates as well and see who we think would be the best fit. So as always, man, it's been your boy B New. I had a hell of a time from the airport. Coming back from the airport, I did want to tell y'all this because I lost my keys somewhere in New York City to my whip, and this is a push button start car, so man, y'all don't even want to know how much it cost me to end up getting these keys, but thank gosh I did. That I was able to get these keys made, and I'm back whipping so I can be able to go handle all the business that I do need to handle. So, man, peace and much love for everybody. And as always, man, right on to the real, and much love to these haters.